All right, so this is actually not a chemistry video. We're going to talk about the quadratic equation because it occasionally comes up, and I've realized that learning how to do this while also learning all the chemistry in the background can be overwhelming. So I'm going to try to come up with an example that just focuses on the quadratic equation. So some of you probably memorized this equation. If you don't have it memorized, that's fine. Here's the problem. This is an if-then statement, and you guys only remembered the then part. The if part is if you can take an equation and rearrange it so it looks like this, then this is true. The problem is getting to here is usually the hard part. This is just putting stuff in a calculator, which I'll also talk about. So I'm going to make up an example. I don't actually have one pre-planned, but we'll figure it out. So let's say we have x squared over 3 minus x equals 5. Keep the numbers real simple just so we can do the algebra here. This does not look like this, and that is inherently the challenge here. So I'm going to show all my algebra in blue, assuming this marker works. So we basically need to get x squared, basically need to get everything on one side equal to 0 in a nice straight line. Having this stuff divided is complicated, so I need to get it out of the bottom. So 3 minus x, I'm going to multiply it on both sides just to get it out of the bottom. Okay, not optimistic my pen's going to hold out, but we'll see what we can do. So I'm going to rewrite it. X squared equals 5 times 3 minus x. Okay. Now what we need to do is multiply this 5 throughout. So this is going to be 5 times 3 is 15, and then 5 times negative x is minus 5x. Okay, nothing too weird there. Now what I need to do is get all of this on the left side and the right side equal to 0. So this is this minus this. So if I add 5x, it will cancel this out, and whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. And now I have x squared plus 5x equals 15. If I need this equal to 0, I can subtract 15 from both sides. So I'm just going to kind of do all this at once. This side is now equal to 0, and I'm going to rewrite it so that it looks pretty like this. So x squared plus 5x minus 15 equals 0. Okay. This means this is in the form of our if statement. So A is equal to 1 because there's no number here. B is whatever is in front of the x, so that's 5. And C is whatever is left over, which is negative 15. That minus sign is important. Please don't ignore it. But now we have all this, and we can plug it in the quadratic equation. So x is equal to negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 5 squared, because it's b squared, minus 4 times a, which is 1, which isn't going to change anything, but that's okay, minus c, which is negative 15, divided by, 2a. Okay? So, typing this in your calculator, you could, depending on what kind of calculator you have, just literally type it left to right. This plus or minus thing means that we're going to get two possible answers. One is negative 5 plus all this, and one is negative 5 minus all of that. What I'm going to encourage you to do is do the stuff under the parenthesis first. Okay, let's see if I can make this somewhat visible for you guys. So, you're going to take 5 squared, and then this is minus, and this is minus, so they cancel out, and you get plus 4 times 15. So this is just the stuff under the square root. I haven't even taken the square root yet. Okay, I'm going to hit second square root of the answer, which is 85, and I get 9 point whatever. Who cares? Okay. And now we get two possible options. We get negative 5 plus this or negative 5 minus this. If we assume this is positive, we're basically taking this number minus 5 and then divided by 2. And so one possible answer is 2.11, basically. Not really worrying about sig figs here. The other answer is to take that 9.2195444457, whatever the answer was of the square root stuff. And I guess I probably should have made that negative, sorry. We basically put the minus in there, so that's negative, and then we subtract 5 from that, and then we divide that by 2. So you always get a positive answer and a negative answer. And this one comes out to negative 7.11. So for this particular problem, if you plug in 2.11 and you square it and you take 3 minus 2.11, you should get 5. If you plug in negative 7.11 squared divided by 3 minus negative 7.11, you should also get 5. Okay. I will point out that in chemistry, when we do these problems, we are always solving for a concentration. It's the only time we use the quadratic, which means we only care about the positive one. You could do both. There are 2 answers, but the positive one is the only one that makes any sense. Like, you can't have a negative molarity. So we'll never actually use the negative one, but this is still how you would do it. Okay, thank you.